Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
Don't stop.
Willkommen in der 200. Ausgabe des nicht offiziellen Hobby Hangouts. Welcome, everybody. Sadly, I have to tell you, Jerry won't be with us. I can't tell you why. He just told me a few minutes ago he couldn't make it. Your guess is as good as mine. I hope he's feeling okay. If not, Jerry, keep it up. If you're still in the pub, have fun. Have one on me. I hope everybody out there in the internet lands is having a great old time. Danley, he might be off for St. Paddy's week, but my understanding was he would take off the week after that, but who knows? You lot probably know him better than I do, so here's to you, Jerry. Do as you want. And maybe next week. Thanks for the 200. Thanks for all the subs you had. Nah, Jerry wasn't in the Hoover. I guess if my Hoover was big enough to catch a Jerry, that would be insanely large of a Hoover. I'm not sure if Ben is actually over at Jerry's place, because Jerry isn't really close to the studio, so I don't know. Thank you, Rumbly8, and we have our first ever hypey thingamajig. I have literally no idea what that is. Seems to be important. It's shiny. Let's celebrate like only a German can. Well, today is just odd. Hey. All the shinies. Yeah. I did put out a poll to the lot over on YouTube to ask what should we be drinking. And it's a... Oh no. Oh no. Ewok Kebab, what are you doing? Stop wasting your money. Buy miniatures instead. Otherwise I have to. And the result is a tie between lemonade and beer. Well, since Jerry isn't here, lemonade isn't an option, is it? It wouldn't be fun without Jerry having lemonade, would it? So we're sticking with beer. For now. I hope you lot have brought your beverages. No, Dad. What kind of criminal would mix beer and lemonade? That's awful. Even thinking about that makes me... Yeah, I know people do such things, Stanley, but that doesn't make it right. It's like with these ones and zeros. It's just... It's not natural. Excuse me. Here's to all you lovely folk out there who made these 200 episodes possible. No, Danley, Ewok Kebab, gifted subs around like a mental. James Cutts also joining in. So basically they're inviting you to be one of my subs. Oh, Orinoco, I didn't say I've never tasted it. I just wouldn't make it. And hello, Crispin. So, for the 200th episode, I didn't plan anything. And since I didn't plan anything, there's also no project list to go through. I actually feel like let's have a little talking head. Get the brown lemonade, maybe later. For now, it's just beer. Gift subs are nice and fine. Occasionally, Redverse, I did plan some things. Though, to be honest, most of the time, Jerry did all the lifting. And being said that, just in case you're watching this later, Jerry, which I assume you won't do, I really appreciate you, mate. And if it weren't for you, I guess we wouldn't be here now. Well, it's tightly scripted, but the script fits on a piece of a napkin. It says, do live stream, preferably with Jerry, talk shite, end. That's the script. It's a very tight script. Doesn't leave much room, does it? Drink beer, occasional lemonade and coffee, or even sometimes whiskey, which is also an option. Oh, and the occasional shouty bits regarding the weird sport that's Jerry in, where 22 overpaid lunatics run around on a green grass and kick a inflated leather ball. Never got the appeal of it, but as long as he's happy with it, I'm happy for him. Demon Sub, if ever there would be a hot top episode on this channel, I'm guessing it would be the last. It would be my blowing out the window. What's a fab box, Zork? I'm not sure what a fab box is. Cry for help episodes. Well, I'm crying for help all the time, so basically I'm relying on other people helping me out with their knowledge, their insights to weird things. Yeah, Crispin, that's about the way that actually goes. Maybe before that, do a little bit of stretching, and at that point, we will just go over to OnlyFans. Nah, James, that didn't escalate quickly. That's just Crispin. And for everybody on YouTube land, sucks that you can't read the comments now. I guess this will be a boring episode for YouTubes. But can't be helped. And in case you lot have not noticed, my second best running video of all time on this flocking channel is now my short Hamburg Taktika video. Seems like people like looking at pictures from Taktika. Jerry is time warping. Maybe. Yeah, James, but what strikes me, it's such a low effort thing. It's just, I took pictures randomly across the day I was there. I just plugged them in to my Vegas Pro video editing software, said make me a slideshow and put some music under it. That's all. It's... Yeah, I mean, I guess it's people not being able to attend certain shows. Those little X-Wing fighter thingies are very, very well ventilated, yes. Do I play with them recently? No, haven't played a game since Fantasy Flight moved on from first edition to second edition. I bought all the conversion kits. I could be playing second edition, never did. And live director's commentary. Yeah, that's the reason why I collected them, Crispin, because even if you stop playing X-Wing, they still look grand in the cabinet. OnlyFans never left me. So, since nobody's here to stop me, what do you all think about Fallout, the TV series by, was it Amazon? Amazon. Oh, the big pointy ship for £20. That's a steal. Well, Crispin, it's an investment, and games are actually cared for a long time. Some of those board games and my background here are almost as old as I am. As long as you take care of them, I can't see a reason why to get rid of them or the need to buy multiples. Yes, Stanley, the trailer looks nice, and I'm a bit scared, but only for the fact that they said all episodes will be available on the 11th. That feels like not worth waiting a week between episodes. Oh, Taurus, there's not much to know about Fallout, luckily. I think Fallout is one of the few IPs you can actually just jump in at any point, because there's no single hero, no single storyline other than it's post-apocalyptic USA, and there's the evil corporation, evil in quotes, called Voltec. Everything else you can just is a side note. Yeah, Orinoco, I think that would be a viable option if they don't have anything weird and shaky going in the background. I just hope that they don't overdo the CGI stuff, because that would really ruin the look, at least in my opinion. I mean, going back to Fallout 3 and New Vegas, 3D models never looked too great. 1 and 2 were tiny pixelated thingamajigs, but the writing was always spot on. Oh, was Matt Berry the one who was taking her organs? Yeah, James, I'm looking forward to everybody having a big bulging sack at the side of their hips full of bottle caps, because they're all a greedy bunch. Hello, Jill, and welcome. Now, Danley, a direct comparison wouldn't be fair, but even episodes 1 and 2 were top-notch writing. And there's some things that carry over from one game to another, besides the corporations and the history. But what makes them so great is every game is a closed ecosystem. So you could play Fallout 3, skip New Vegas, and jump into Fallout 4 without having really missed any storyline. Yeah, Demon Sub. At that point, just hit T, wait 24 hours, and the shops will be restocked with money. Well, it would be a jump if you would go from 3 to 4 without going via New Vegas. Maybe unbeknownst to you that there's actually a new title. It's a blank canvas, and I think if you take any other big IP like Star Trek, Star Wars, Babylon 5, they all have a main cast that is carried from one episode to the next and from one movie to the next. And hell, Star Trek even did Generations to pass on the torch. Bloody hell. You don't need that in Fallout. You have a single main character and you just plonk him in the world and send him or her on her way. Justin and John as extras. I do remember that they had Fallout made Fallout cosplay armor. I don't know if that stuff holds up or if that foam stuff degrades over time. I now imagine John sitting in his power armor in front of the telly on the 11th, watching all episodes. Justin is the leader of the Brotherhood. The only thing I'm really would want as a little side note to the to the games would be things like if they had another what's it called? Another vault where there's just clones of one settler running around going, Gary. No, that I find that would be hilarious. Oh, Crispin, how was the sexual popcorn container? Was it fun? I really hope the second movie doesn't linger on the second book too long. Oh, they didn't have the bucket? What a shame. Oh, shame. And all the audience wants to know is, did you get the fuck bucket? Went to a fancy place. Oh, those. Never go fancy. Feels like the day had been a hard one, since the beer is tasting very good. Portaloo. Chat, you're a very naughty audience, but that's why I love you. And I think this is a little tiny corner in the internet where we can be our silly selves. And if any time Twitch decides we are no longer available to them or can't be carried along, well, we just go somewhere else. At the glory hole. I would never use a glory hole. I'd always be scared of splinters. Yes, Jambuscuts, we all need the silliness. And, yeah. Life is irritating enough. That's why you wait for the big fish. Okay. The expert's talking. I don't know anything about these things other than the technical, theoretical aspects. Ah, you lot are so silly. Oh, on a serious note, I received message that the latest Star Wars Legion release, Sister and Brother, the Inquisitors, will be delayed for some time in Germany. I don't know why, but they're getting production later. Nah, it's not fire sale. I just hope it's only a... Maybe they caught a translation error or something, I don't know. It just came through the newsletter saying, it'll be later. It was supposed to be at the end of March on delivery, and they called it a few weeks, so whenever that will be arriving. Gives me more time to actually finish some of my painted Star Wars Legion stuff, but The new Urbies, yes, James, they are lovely. I wish they would have included them in the Kickstarter at some point as an add-on. I might have come very weak and nagged a packet. They just look lovely. Tiny little flying Urbies. Urbi at Urbi. I mean, yeah, they're silly, and you can't really do much with them, but they're nice. How did you break your ones and zeros thingamajig? Did you burn it? A friend broke. Did he stumble? Ah, okay, so you're getting the leftovers and are doing a recycling and upcycling and what's it called? Fix it. I fix it. That's a very nice thing. Mantic frogs. Oh, Jill, that's the best kind of fire sale if a store just wants to get rid of stock. So I wouldn't know what to do with Star Wars Crisis Protocol miniatures other than resell them on eBay. And anybody who has seen the latest OTT video with that one guy from Mantic, no, Mantic, bloody bollocks, Wargames Atlantic, he does look like Ben without a beard, doesn't he? I can't unsee that now. I think I need to I need to use some Photoshop skills and edit that at some point. Yeah, it's a secret twin evil brother thingamajig. There's Charlie of ex-Warlord fame. Excuse me. You were forced to buy another army. Oh no. Why would you sell your army? Getting sold stuff at shows is grand. Well, Crispin, your view might be biased because you're such in love with Fuckman, he knows what he did. Masturbation makes blind. Can't be. Where are you? Mr. Ben has many faces. Yeah, at times, you know, when Ben gets really excited about stuff, I mean really excited, he gets a bit scary. I reckon there's something brewing beneath that calm and relaxed shell. If you don't believe me, go look up some of the ex-LVS where he's in charge, and quote unquote. Yeah, Demon Sub, some people have more money than sense. The new Star Wars card game, Jill. It's what's it called again? Yeah, fuck me. Unlimited, yes. I'm not sure how to feel about that. FFG is pushing that thing like there's no tomorrow. I don't know if I really stand behind that concept. Especially since the art on the cards is something you really need to like, and I don't. It just doesn't look right. They don't want to get sold by Embracer. Well, who would buy FFG at this point? And Embracer won't sell them because FFG still has the licensing deal with Disney, and Star Wars is a license to print money. Sometimes I'm really glad that there's no shop in my immediate vicinity that I could easily visit to buy miniatures. I would be spending way too much money. The only shop that's in range, so reachable by bike, only stocks Games Workshop crap and I think Bones miniatures. Well, speaking of Games Workshop crap, the new Blood Bowl team really does look tasty. I might be convinced if it's not too pricey to put that into my shopping bag at my not local friendly game store where I get my stuff from. Yeah, it's not only that it's Blood Bowl, but Blood Bowl's still one of the nice, silly miniature ranges they do. Finding time to paint them all, that's out of the window for me because I'm already way behind any schedule I ever had. It's more the aspect of not even taking them out of the box and assembling, which really annoys me more than anything. Now, speaking of assembly, still haven't done anything with these bolt action French army infantry sprue. And I know I will enjoy the process of building them because I like gluing plastic bits together. But what's the point? I mean, I don't play any World War II adjacent 28mm miniature games, so why even bother building them? I don't know. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. For practice. That's always a good one. Get the rules, buy more minis. Nah. World War II really is a setting that does nothing for me. The only game that ever caught my attention a wee bit was tanks, because it had 2 tanks and we could just go by and build it. Yes, that's true, Jill. But who would, who likes to be reminded of failures? Use them as testers for paint. That's an actual good one, because usually I would say I use Spacker Marines for that, but Space Marines live up there somewhere in a very heavy box, and I don't care for getting them pulled down. Maybe using them as paint practice or color theory is a good idea. Or I just leave them in the sprue, and if sometime I get the urge to convert weird other miniatures, might then do them. And at some point in time, I need to act my age and get some 6mm rank and flank, I guess? Maybe? Do I? Do I really? Is it necessary? I'm quite comfortable with my 28mm Star Wars stuff, and Battletechs, and Bot Wars. Hello, Munda. Nice of you to look. 6mm Frederick the Great. James, you have been drinking, have you? Well, to be fair, if I were to ask a friend channel of mine, Table Schmock, he probably would just put me on the spot. Yeah, Danny, technically Bot War is 8 to 10, Battletech is more 6 to 8mm. But I was talking more about the rank and flank. Just paint the eyes. Only if I would be playing 6mm Eye of the Beholders. Crispin, what makes you say the Empire is Germans in space? It's not the Empire. It's the New Order. Technically, Battletech could be counted as rank and flank if you just look at the infantry and elementary bases. They have multiples on them. Romans in space. You know what would be best in space? Pigs in space! Now that's Mel Brooks. I think that was Mel Brooks. Was it? Jews in Space? I think that was Mel Brooks. What was it? Spaceballs? Can't remember. I mean, if anybody in Hollywood made fun out of Jews, it was the percentage probability of being done by Mel Brooks is high. History of the World Part 1. Exactly. And that's also the movie where they did the weird musical number with him as Adolf Hitler or something. Jeez, that's sometime. Hello, Nick. Welcome. Take a seat, grab a beer, have a drink. Please don't grab into the popcorn bucket of Crispin. Squirrels in space with the guns. Yeah, that's an interesting I mean, there's halflings on bunnies, why shouldn't there be squirrels in space? James Guts, you're really having a very loose wallet today. Thanks anyhow, mate. Much appreciated. If nothing, it'll be going back into the hobby via the means of miniatures. Otters, remind me, Hal Rumbly 8. The look on Shay's face, realizing what otters actually meant. Chef's kiss. I mean, Shay really is the innocent child on that panel of old farts. Hasn't seen any movie and takes some time. And have you noticed how grumpy Warren still is about people calling themselves otters and not cogs? Well, here's to you, mate. Ananshir, welcome. Oh, I don't even know when I started watching Beast of War. I think it was just short before they transitioned over to OTT. I'm not quite sure. To this day I'm not really sure on how I stumbled across them. I guess it was just the one of the first Star Wars Legion videos they did, where Jerry and Justin did a playthrough. Yeah, Cox also sounds too much like a reproductive organ. Jeebus, 6th edition 40k, man, that's a long time. Ottercox, the OnlyFans version of Beast of War. Here you will get Warren in a hot tub, hugging Mats. Speaking of, we didn't have a Matt meets Warren for a long time. And I'm missing the, what was those questionnaires he did, where he annoyed Ben so much. Cogitos Ludos. Mats have gone on strike for harassment. Let me think. There was another thing that we're missing that was a staple of the show. It was Warren meets Matt. There was another thing. I think there was a third thing they did. They stopped doing. Yeah, boot camps are the obvious thing, but that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking about a part of the video show. Can't remember. Maybe I'm just imagining stuff. We all miss John having to paint a load of terrain in 2 days. Oh, melting John's spines. I forgot about that. That was nice, yeah. Yeah, Demon Sub, the Cogitos Ludo was a nice thing, and the XP boosts would be nice if they still worked. I'm not sure why they stopped implementing them. I feel it might be time for a relaunch. Oh, it's palm trees. Are those related to Mel's palm trees? And yes, Manda, you're right. Corona did pull a number on the whole thing. Yeah, Jill, I get that. Though, let's face it, they put too much into one technical thing. Ben on the telly and everybody else in the studio. Yeah, that was a certain vibe that I like to see to come back, even if it's only occasionally. Though I'd like to have Ben on the telly and at the same time have him the advantage of modern technology in seeing what the other guys do and not just scream into the void. Website still lists loads of features coming soon. Yeah, that's a gripe I had, and I think I've mentioned that once or twice before. That if you don't do it, just take it off. Don't just take the link away. I don't think there's a link of building Rome, but it might as well be. The day Lloyd has finished building Jerry's Rome will be the day the project system works flawlessly. Mark my words. So, have I been living under a rock, or did the last 2-3 weeks not bring anything spectacular gaming related into the news? Or have I just ignored it all? Oh, Nick, I don't know. Yes, James, you're happy about the mantic frogs. And frogs on... Are they on frogs or are they on toads, Orinoco? Might as well be. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Hope you're feeling better now, and hope you're getting adjusted to using your other arm for painting. Yeah, that was a nice one, Nick. The Gnome Blood Bowl team, as I mentioned earlier, that's one I could be tempted to grab for myself. Oh no, you can't use either now, Amanda. I hope that's a situation that's not permanent. Also, if you don't want to discuss this on chat, also fine, just tell me to shut up. Good night, Dutch. Yeah, I know it's not the same as you probably have, but when I painted a little bit on my miniatures last night, yeah, I'm starting to get a bit of a wibbly wobbly effect on my arms if I clench up too tight. Mass Effect board game, yeah. I don't know. Video game adaptations on board games, or rather board game adaptation of video games. I don't know. Amanda, here's fingers crossed that you find a appropriate medicinal knowing person that can help you. Maybe it's just stress if you're lucky. Or your left is now hurting because you're putting all the work on it that you usually do on your right. That can happen. I've seen that at work when people start having what you call it, the syndrome not use when you're using a your mouse for too long with one hand, and then they switch over to the left side, and the first week is fine, and then suddenly they go, oh fuck, now I can't do neither. And if all else fails, Manda, don't send your miniatures to Lloyd for painting. You'll never get them back. Sorry. I'm pretty sure people will be glad to help you out. I think for me the only real interesting bit is the weird Anteater World War stuff from Wargames Atlantic, because it's just silly. And I like the fact that they did terrain as a cardboard fold up inside the box. Yeah, Demon Sub, passing a certain age barrier does things on you. When I passed 40, my eyes needed bifocals. The hair turned grey. Some hair went completely. And the worst part of it, inside this old here in my head, I'm not feeling 48 as I am of August last year. Can you not imagine? I'll be turning 50 next year, for fuck's sake. Are you telling me I look older, Orinoco? If yes, fuck you. Yeah, I think the brain stops somewhere around the mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s about growing older. It's just, yeah, we're now grown up, that's it, end of the line. And just the body going downhill all the way. The worst part is the head is in control, and if you start drinking like you're in your late 20s, I have some hair, demon, not all. And the weirdest part is, here it gets thicker with each year. Also, down there. Just the rear end part looks like a helicopter landing plane. "55 at the end of the year, Mr. Zork. Well, you are a respectable elder then. And you know what the elder does on the internet? The elder scrolls." Yeah, and sprues in boxes. I love it when a manufacturer does show a sprue how it comes in the box. It's just, it gives me so much more confidence in what I'm buying than just pictures of built and pretty painted miniatures. Yeah, Nightrunner, but at that point, will you be able to get him? Or will they just outrun you? Oh no! I'm running out of juice. Thanks for the sub, Night Runner. Pictures of renders on the box. Yeah, that's the worst part of the worst possible act of display on a box, actually. I'm not sure this works on the big screen. Hold on, I'm trying to. Please hold the lion. What the hell? Where did the map go? There it is. I'm not sure we're going to have the scream. If you call them again Star Trek ships, Mr. James Cuts, I will do you a big and I will cut you. Also, actually, there's a video of that shelf on my YouTube channel. Yeah, the Sutherland only works on the other frame, but if I open that, I think there will be a weird-looking audio thingamajig. That's all. Go here. See, there's the background music that's currently running. And where's the app account? And just for you, James.
Fugu.
There's the Jerry.
Bastard.
Let's go back to the pretty abiglement. Well, that surely didn't stop the beer from running out. Well, Nick, wouldn't that be just a case of apply a bit more glue across the mold line and watch it melt? If you're building Legion Imperialis. We all know having a one-sided diet is bad for your health. And since I'm already fucking bad with my health, as demonstrated by me not getting the bottle open, I'm now going to add to today's diet a bit of whiskey. Not too much. Oh, did they, Nick? I need to look that up tomorrow at work then. Have a look-see at the Sharpie. I think Sharp is one of the few exceptions where a dubbing of the series actually takes away some of the charm. Salmon and rice. Sounds not too bad. As is tradition, when we don't know what to do, I today cooked some noodles and schnitzel. Not even kidding. We did schnitzel today. Tasty, tasty schnitzel. I'm not sure even what they dubbed the bastards part in, because I can't think of any TV appropriate cursing that fits the syllables. Or Knuckles, I'm on the same boat with you, as having dubbing is the least preferable part, but there are some movies that actually what do you call it, get enhanced by a dub. For example, the Terence Hill Bud Spencer movies have a very comedic effect with a German dubbing, while they're on the original audio are more on the darker side. Sharpie's mostly made of VD shot and scar tissue by the end. The worst part for me watching things in the original tone is when they have actors talking a language they don't get. And it's especially bad when it's a language I'm fluent in. So if I see a English-speaking World War II movie and they have some Nazis running around and they go just, what are they even saying? Those are not words, less sentences. Just bad. And subtitles telling a different stories than what actually is being said in the movies is always a very interesting thing. Anybody played Wolfenstein 3D? Mein Leben! Yeah, it's been a while, but we played that game in school, like, there's no tomorrow, and at home after school. It was just fun, and for the weirdest reason, it was on the index in Germany, so it wasn't legally allowed to be sold or handed off to anybody, because it had swastikas in it. Even though you were the American prisoner running around killing Nazis, nope, it had swastikas in it, hence it's verboten. That law has been slightly unstuck its arse now, but yeah. How does the Arkham board game compare to the Doom board game, Nick? Amanda, it's not just the government that's a bit touchy about the subject. And I'm not really sure if you can call it a guilt trip if you're responsible for 2 world wars. And let's face it, what happened between 36 and 45 was bad. And that's really nothing we should ever want to have happen again. Though, to be fair, the strict law side of things is there for a reason. Technically speaking, James, also, the second one would be on the Austrians. Well, where did Mr. Hitler come from? Not from here. That's an imported fucker. But that's politics. We don't want politics here. Also, most people I know are really... yeah, we, as persons, we didn't do it. It was decades before our time, but we still feel a responsibility to make sure it never happens again. Which is a sentiment I'm totally fine with, because just look around the world, there's way too many lunatics in places of power, and that scares the shit out of me. Yeah, James, I think there's more than one country in the world where one might be saying it would be wise to have a more open understanding of things that had been done in the past. And that's not meaning that you need to apologize for things all the time. That's not the point of it. You just need to make sure that it never happens again. As simple as that. The Japanese did horrible things, the Chinese did horrible things, the British did horrible things, the Americans did horrible things. Don't get me started on the Spanish, the Portuguese, or the Dutch. Or whatever did the Romans do? There's things in the past of almost every country that are better not repeated in any way, shape, or form. Hell, how did it get so dark so quickly? Quick! Launch the happiness! Fuck. Oh, bloody hell. All over my miniatures! Nah. I don't think that came from shop. We can blame John Beam for much things, but not that, I think. The Romans, they go house. Oh, that reminds me. Since my daughter is taking Latin in school now, I need to watch The Life of Brian with her, and let's see if she gets the joke on the wall. Yes, her second language after what's it called? English. It's mandatory. Taking a second language, and she had to choose between Latin, Spanish, French, Russian. I guess that is. Well, if I'm going to start an empire, I'm sure it won't be something like das Heilige Römische Reich deutscher Nation. No, my empire would be much more simple than that. It would be an galactic empire. Well, technically in a part of it. At the same time, I live in a part of Frisia. So... The only problem about being addicted to Shop is that you start looking at Napoleonic wargames with renewed interest. Nope. Not happening, mate. Not for me. What? Clip what? Don't clip anything. Yeah, Demon's up. But hindsight is 2020, as they say, whatever that means. So, oh fucking hell! Whatever that happened, I think I'll need to watch that later. So, miniature related topic. Next one, please. Has anybody any idea? Let's get away from politics. Man, I did learn Russian in school way back when. It's an interesting language. I feel the hardest part was actually reading the letters. Cute frogs? I don't have any frogs. But maybe we can see them at the... was it War Games Atlantic? Or who did the frogs? Mantic. Oh, that's right. Okay, so... Mantic Games, he says. There's my. And now, to keep you all in sight, I need to push you over to the other screen again. Private, save, go away. News! Give me the news. This month Atlantic. Where's the... Why do they not put that on the news site? I just don't get it. Frogs and toads, frogs with pointy sticks, weird fishmen, sea troll, sea snake, and even more squiggly bigs. Ewok, why do you have a painting dilemma? What's the dilemma? Not sure about what colors to choose, or is it even worse? I mean, they look nice. A tad green. Yeah, that's 150 euros. Let's switch that to Great British pounds. It doesn't let me switch. Bastard.
Bastard.
No, that's a heavy armed toad. I'm not sure how he's aiming, but I guess it'll work. Have you ever noticed that almost never the term saga, for example, is coined anymore on OTT? I find that a shame. These buggers do look interesting, and if I were to be playing any kind of fantasy skirmisher or rank and flank, I might have an interest in these, but since I'm not playing any rank and flank or fantasy for that matter, yeah, sometimes Jerry puts it in, but it's very, very, very undertone. In addition to that, is not a new phrase that's been around for God knows how long. Oh, Ewok, I see what you're on your painting dilemma. Honestly, the only thing that would work at in that situation is being honest with your friend and say, look, the first two ones were more or less on me. This is going to take X amount of time. and if I need to charge you X amount of money per hour, and this will make it an X amount cost for you, are you willing to pay that? Yes or no? It's basically what your time is worth to yourself. It's your spare time. If you don't enjoy doing it and you are actually doing it just out of friendship, don't just do it for the cost of material. Unless he has some skills you might rely on later for, let's say he builds you terrain, or builds you a cabinet, or renovates your living room or something. Excuse me. Oh, maybe Ewok, do it this way. If I'm not, however, why he's not painting himself, maybe take him along for the ride. Show him some tricks. Do a paint along. Maybe he finds joy in that and then can finish his army himself. You do his character models and he does the bulk work. But be honest with him, that's the best thing. If you're not honest with him, this is going to go bad. So, we were talking earlier. Quaz War, Clash of Rifles. They just look so silly. And personally, I can't see them being anteaters. Actually, they would be some kind of weird alien in my book. They're not anteaters. Close your ears. Here goes another. Yeah, birds could be as well, though the beaks are a bit round at the end. And we did talk about this earlier. There's pictures of spruce. Well, James, I'm not sure you're aware, you can do a new army and paint stuff without doing a project. You don't need to make a new project. That's optional. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's the other side of the same sprue. Let's see, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bodies. 7 heads, at least. So there's options. That's nice. That's always very nice. Yeah, James, if only there had somebody done a video on these. But to be fair, a video where you'll get spruce shown isn't the same as a product page where you can actually look in relaxed time on yourself on what's on a sprue. I feel this is nice. This is the way it should be. You can see everything in detail, and you can decide if this is for you or not. You could always leave the guns away and just add brooms or something. Well, Ewok, it's your choice if you want to paint for your friend or not, but you must I feel the least you need to do is make sure that he knows that this is a time burden and could be getting expensive potentially. Hobnobs, aren't those some kind of biscuits or cookies? Bases. You get a lot of bases. 74.27. Well, I think this is only pre-ordering, so I'll be waiting what comes around on my local game store. OT biscuits. Ah, thank you. I'm not sure if there's hobnobs or something similar. Also, care package is always very, what do you call it? Much appreciated, but I'm afraid people in this household won't value them as high as I might. But we have our own set of biscuits that you might not have, James. We have Hobbits. Which are a lovely little snack. Let me see if I can find them quickly. Have a look at them, Hobbits. They don't look like much, but they are very tasty. They're also available in a chocolatey flavor. Well, since most companies today are more or less owned by similar brands, they might as well be some kind of daughter companies of somebody. I don't know. They do look tasty, and they do taste nice. I try to remember what my favorite chocolatey stuff was when I was over in England, but that's 30 years ago and I can't remember. Yeah, Demon Sap, don't munch too much down on the hobbits. You might get hair stuck in the teeth. I highly doubt that. Orinoco. Macaroni pies. That sounds horrible. Though to be fair, most discounting shopping centers like Little Aldi, Penny, or what have you, do have some weird nationality flavored weeks at times. Eva Kebab, I see your problem with that. Still, if he's on that level of friendship, getting him paint with alongside you would be, I guess, the best option. Thanks for being there, Night Runner. Don't work too hard. Oh, 800 more. I think I'll be potentially be dead by then. 800. Nah, that's almost 20 years, I guess. Don't think that will work out. There's food fight in chat about Scotch pies and magpies. Though I thought magpies would be birds of some kind of description. Yeah, Amanda, you're right. I might switch to a daily stream if things go south. Scotch pie looks interesting. Let's see what a magpie looks like. Okay. I think that's a war crime in Italy. I think that counts as a war crime in Italy, yeah. Yep, magpie is a bird. Magpie. European magpie. And now, chat is all about eating. Everybody is having their saliva highly stimulated. And the worst part is, I'm on alcohol, so I'm craving for food right now. Yeah, that's the picture I just had seen. So, it's don't show that to any Italian. They might, like, there might be an inquisition, even though it's not Spanish anymore. Though to be fair, we have something similar, just without the crust. It's just getting minced meat, stir in with noodles, put it in a what do you call it? It's not the lasagna tray. It's the one with a lid on it, and put it in the oven. Let it bake for some time. Oh, every time Amanda does a picture, I'm afraid. I knew it. Magpie. Could you please rephrase that, James? Do you mean local as in geographical local, or what's a favorite food for myself? Because there's differences in definition there, big ones. I don't know if we have Greg's over here. I do like myself some spicy kebabs. I do like Indian food. We do a lot of homemade pizza. I really like my Mettbrötchen, which is minced meat with pepper and onion dices on a small little bun. I also like various iterations of lasagnas and noodles. But I'm also a sucker for doing a big juicy hamburger every now and then. A cooking stream on episode 300. Came for the minis, left hungry. Well, so that's... I know where I can blame this. It's the alcohol talking, because every time I start drinking, I get hungry. Weirdly, we have a kebab here locally who is on a mission to do any kind of kebab for some odd reason. The first weird kebab he did was a purely potato-based kebab. Last summer, he did a watermelon kebab. I mean, to be fair, I'm just the food I dislike the most is, and this will be a shock to most people, mushrooms. I hate mushrooms in every form. I just get away with mushrooms. Also, if the veggies are mushy after being boiled, nah, just give him a slight steaming. Make him just a bit warm. It still needs some crunch. And again, that's me. You enjoy any food you like. I'm not judging anybody on any food. I'm a German, Dave. I can't be a fungi. It's not in my genes. I mean, one food I've had a recently acquired taste for is a meatless 4-bean chili, which is really nice. Takes some time to make, but it's really nice. A meetup. Oh, you bloody UK flockers. If only I could find time and money and opportunity, I'd really like to go over to Coleraine and give everybody a big hug and tell them how to pronounce German unit troops properly, you winkers. Local food. So there's a traditional food in Spring, James. That's I really have to look that up before I do tell a lie. Hang on a sec. So it's a traditional food that's served around here. It comes with potatoes, 2 kinds of sausages, extra meat, and usually includes doing silly games and heavy drinking. It's kale. We actually have a tradition locally to my town here where there's a Kale King crowned every year. And the local Kale King is Last year was our Minister of Finance. Let me see. Let's see. Yes, our this year's King of Kale, or as the traditional will call it, the deftig Olmborg Grünkohl Aten, is our Minister of Defense, Mr. Pistorius. No, it's not deep fried. I guess it's cooked, not deep fried. There's some sausages involved that are might be fried. It's a very greasy food. Well, as you expect for something that's been digested while drinking heavily. Let me see, is there a better picture of this? That's a shame. No. For some sad reason, this year's Kale King doesn't have a proper picture. Or does he? How did we get here from... Oh, never mind. I'm showing you the last year's king. That's last year's. That's our Minister of Finance on the right, being the last year's King of Kale. And yes, Jill, I do talk about Oscar Pistorius. We did get here from Sharpie. Well, that's I don't think we can blame Sean Bean for that, can we? No, funnily enough, that's just locally in our small town, but for some reason our local town is the epicenter of Kale King crowning. It even goes so far that companies that are local here and in the vicinity do in-house kale eating parties, which involve heavy drinking and eating lots of potatoes and sausages and whatever meat they could find. Hold on a second. Ed, go away. I'm not sure the translation is correct. Let me double check. It says here castle. I'm not sure if that's correct, but that's the my favorite meat in all this put together. Might as well be James, since I have no idea what the Yorkshire rhubarb triangle is. But I'm guessing it's something food related. Yes, we do eat castles because we don't need knights. Kniggets are overrated. Excuse me. I didn't say we don't have rhubarb. I'm just saying I have no concept of what you're talking about, the Yorkshire rhubarb triangle. And if I'm not mistaken, and let me double check because my vocabulary is actually decreasing with every sip of beer. Yeah, it's rhubarb. Yes, we do have rhubarb. It's growing in our backyard. Also, of course, we're barbarians. What's the point in eating potatoes and not be a barbarian? Good night, Demon Sub. Thanks for being here and your services to the chat. If this story doesn't have a love triangle where someone isn't speared to death by rhubarb, I'm going to be very disappointed. For some reason, I've come to dislike it, but I did eat it earlier in my life, fresh from the grounds, dipped in a bit of sugar. My family likes it in a cake, so rhubarb cake, but that's not for me. Rhubarb strawberry cake. Also, a very popular as marmalade, rhubarb marmalade, with strawberries. Sounds like a Simon Pegg Nick Frost collab. We're still on food, are we? You sure are a weird bunch. And everybody on YouTube still being here, welcome to my... whatever this is. Rumby, do you have any information on how high the voltage is on that schnapps? Yes, Jill, this is one of the least weird conversations we've had here. This is why it scares me. The odd thing is, there has been... was it a Kickstarter for recently that was literally called Food Fight? And I only didn't back it because it was just STLs. But I might be misremembering at this point in time. I'm not responsible for my acts anymore, you know, because I'm 1.5 beers and a glass of whiskey in. So I'm technically not responsible for anything anymore that happens. Well, Ewok, if somebody would do that in front of me whilst I'll be in England, I would say, I don't know. I would have to check my dictionary. For some odd reason, my brain has now just switched over to a calzone. You know, these little tasty rolled up pizzas. That would be something good right now. I'm starting to get hungry again. That's not good. Not good for my figure. Not good for my kitchen. What shape and height is the bread roll? Hats off to you, Danley. That's the proper reaction. Not discussing what it's called, just eat it. James is putting in weird pictures again. It's not a bar bun or even a cob. It's a bread cake. I'm so happy that we're not having any kind of those problems locally. It's either a bread or a brötchen. So a big bread or a tiny bread. There's nothing else. It's just bread and tiny bread. Of course, if we venture out into the realms of foreign foods, there will be the croissant. But that doesn't really count as bread, does it? Jill, you say that it's boring, but just because we have one word for a large selection of stuff. I mean, there's bread, Brot. There's small bread, Brötchen. Then there is the thin, crackly snide type bread, which is called Knäckebrot. We have grey bread, which is Graubrot. We have very bread with many, what's it called, seeds in it, which would be Körnerbrot. Or sunflower seed bread, Sonnenblumenkernbrot. And then there's also the famous Mohnbrötchen, which is tiny breads with... Of course I did. Jill, you've been watching me so long. Did I ever tell the truth? Yes, there's words and then there's subfactions. Red war. I hit you with this very dry ship's bread. Oh, but seriously, speaking of dried breadish-like stuff, I'm not sure if British audience has something similar, but in the military rations for the German army, we had a very dry... It looks like a biscuit, but it's almost as hard as steel, but it's very tasty. It's called Panzerkeks. It's basically just very dry bread, but high nutritional value. And also, if you add a dab of shoe polish on it, it serves as a lighter for your barbecue. Yeah, dwarf bread of sorts. I love that stuff. It's not available for public consumption unless you know when and where they are selling off surplus items. I really need to get some of those. Speak his name. Sir Terry Pratchett, you are being remembered. My hat is off to you. Currently listening to another one of Pratchett. I've seen his daughter sharing a picture of herself and him having dinner some time ago, and it's just... It just breaks my heart. see that, Jill, that's the where having translated and dubbed audiobooks is an advantage. There's just good actors. That's all. The only thing I regret, there's a German comedian who did some of Pratchett works. Sadly, he only did the abridged versions, so very, very short iterations of some books. But he had such a fitting voice for most of the characters. Sadly, he already has passed, so my hope of getting him reading the unabridged versions is, well... And actually, the Discworld novels are all sitting in my bedroom on my shelf. Every last one of them. So I can read Discworld at any time. But it's a nice way to get into bed and have just somebody talk to you about how some little guy is shooting some other guy in the foot. Oh, while we were on the subject of food, wasn't there also a Discworld cooking book of some kind? I think there was. I need to look that up sometime again and have a look-see and do some cooking on the Discworld side. Seems like the thought of Terry Pratchett has just killed chat. Bossar! Oh yeah, Brian Blessed would be a nice a nice actor going forward, Cully. And to be fair, since I've been looking at Pratchett texts in the original form simultaneously to the German translation, hat off to whoever did the translations. They are not word by word translated, but they are so much in spirit, it's just... Cut me on throat dipper is driving myself into ruin. And then there's Corporal Karotte. Yeah, and that's the thing, Jill, because it wasn't easy at times, there are actually books that have a small paragraph. Addendum by the translator. We can't translate this. This is what he said. This is what he means. Now read on. And having just the ability to do that and not ruin the text in the slightest is just grand. Is this my cow? It makes bah. No, it's not my cow. Oh, I love that book. Too many good artists already have left the stadium. Speaking of good artists, if you have any love of what was once called new wave of British heavy metal, give the new Judas Priest album a look. It's the first album that has made the gap from the first album being published to the recent album being published having 50 years. And boy, Rob Halford still got it. It's a nice album. Tough choice, Ewok. The witches. Somehow I see for oh, what's her face again? Not Granny Weatherwax. Nanny Ogg. Nanny Ogg would be a grand figure for the early Roseanne Barr. I don't think Judas Priest predate new wave of British heavy metal. I think they just right up there got in there alongside Saxon and Iron Maiden. So Nanny Ogg would be young Roseanne Barr. Granny Weatherwax. That's a tough one. Yeah, the nurse from Blackadder would be a nice one. Miriam Margoyles. That name doesn't ring a bell. But since I'm horrible with names, that's not much of an... Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. I forgot about her. I'd seen her on QI and... was it good? No, it was on... whatever British other show. Yeah, that's totally fine for Nanny Ogg. But who would be Margaret? That's the one I'm really struggling. You need a very thin, very clumsy actress that's also very young in regards to the other two. I mean, if we're staying on that route, I think there will be no discussion on who would play Vimes. It would be young. Oh my god, I'm pulling blanks. What's his face? Oh god, my name actually just no, not Johnny Vegas. Bloody hell. Clint Eastwood. Young Clint Eastwood would be... I mean, it's basically him. Young Clint Eastwood being... Vimes. Who would be a great veterinary, I guess? names. Veterinary. Who could be veterinary? I guess there's not really any character from current lineup. I'm always going back to younger versions of actors still alive, which feels like cheating. Oh, and one role that's for myself, completely carved in stone and can't be changed. Death is Christopher Lee. I can't hear any other voice than Christopher Lee being Death. Jason Isaacs. I think I know what you're talking. Yeah, that's. No, the voice of Christopher Lee is just my personal my personal main wish for Death, because it's just so dark and rich. Who would do what's it called? Nobby Knobs. Who would play Nobby Knobs? There's just too much characters in these books it's horrible. Oh, Tony Robinson, that's a good one. Though maybe Tony would be more suited for oh god, I hate my brain. Cut me own throat, Dibbler. Yeah, Dibbler. I think Tony Robinson would be a better Dibbler than a Nobby Knobs. Just because the proximity of Dibbler's character to Baldric. They're just too similar. They have the same vibe. I mean, there's characters like Pump number 2 and all these other big human types could be anything. No, James, we're not turning this into a 24-hour stream. I need to get to work in 6 hours. Paul Whitehouse. If my brain wasn't so bad with names, I think this would be a much interesting... I'm bad with names, but usually I can recall faces. I don't think I've ever seen them anywhere. Hmm. Carrot, yeah. Ewok, imagine Conan the Barbarian Arnold Schwarzenegger as Carrot. Well, Moist was played very well by, oh, what's his face? Richard Coyle. And I think he did it well. I think Richard Coyle did a good Moist. James just wants to see the cast of Death of Stalin in something else. Let's make another movie and call it the Resurrection of Stalin and make it a weird B-class movie. I get what you're saying, Ewok, but I feel the Carrot is a very stoic, cool character that I myself envision as having very little facial expression, and that just fits Conan on point. Something like that, Manda, yes. Oh, Keanu Reeves, I think, would go. Keanu Reeves would be a great veterinary. He could also very well play a young veterinary doing all the assassin stuff. What's his assistant name from veterinary? Drumnut. Who would be Drumnut? I've no face envisioned for Drumnut. I think this really could go on for Cherry Littlebottom. Who was Cherry Littlebottom? Oh, boy, that's a tricky one. Any dwarven actress or actor would be very tricky. Like Cherry meets Ben. Anthony Hopkins for veterinary would be interesting, but I don't think he would be the perfect fit because I see veterinary as a very sleek and slender fellow, and Anthony Hopkins is just too much person. Well, that's your homework for next week. Because my little eye going over to the clock saying it's past my bedtime. Also, past my second beer, and my bladder is telling me to go and have a swish. So you lot think about What current day actor could replace any role in Discworld? Put it in the OTT forums. We'll have a lovely discussion there, if you like. Or put it in the Discord. Or write it on a piece of paper and shove it up your arse. I don't care. I will be turning off the stream now. Having a little leak over at the throne of porcelain. And then go to bed. Thanks for being here for 200 episodes. I really did enjoy this evening. I hope Jerry is back next week. Maybe he's even sober. And can't thank you enough, people. You took me through sometimes being in a dark place. We're getting through this together. Enjoy your night. Have a nice little evening. Grab a bite. If you can, go grab yourself a kebab. They're tasty. We don't need a gerrymander, but we really, really like him. At least I do. And I want him here. See you again next week, boys. Bye! Somewhere there's a button. Pressing it now.